was talking to my friend the other day who is 22, and he's worried about getting older. His childhood is behind him, and he's approaching his mid-20s, and he wants to make sure he gets the most out of his life. But he feels as though a lot of the best parts of his life are behind him, and that it's a decline from here on in. I'm 27. I'm soon to be 28. I'm 5 years older than him. And I'm not old as such. I'm young. I mean, it's all relative, really. I'm maybe around my physical peak. A man's physical peak maybe is 25, 28, 30, something like that. So I'm feeling okay, but I do feel slower than I was when I was 16, 17, when I could just run around all day, never needed a nap, and so forth. And aging is a good thing. If you focus and fixate on youth, if you focus and fixate on tight skin and wrinkleless skin and joints that don't hurt and a body that's fully functional, which you have when you're young for most people, you're in for a disappointment in the long run, because those things do end up dissolving one way or the other, whether it's through old age or death. If you die early, it goes away at some point. And this is a fundamental aspect of existence. Nobody has been able to hold on to their youth. Nobody. Because it's not meant to be held on to. We're meant to evolve through seasons and stages of our lives. When we're children, we're supposed to be children. When we're adults, we're supposed to be adults. And when we're old people, we're supposed to be old. The beauty is that as the form declines, the form being who you are on the surface, your body, your looks, your abilities, your physical condition, as that declines, you're forced to look into deeper things. They say age gives you wisdom, and you may say, oh, okay, how's that going to help me if my joints are hurting and my body's not working and I'm hooked up to heart monitor or whatever? And that's true. But wisdom is deeper than just some idea. Wisdom in a deeper sense means an understanding of true reality, not just reality as it appears from our bodies and our minds and on earth, but deeper insight into who we are beneath form. And if you think carefully, you are the underlying I am. You are the underlying energy, the underlying consciousness beneath the form. And life gently prepares you, loss after loss, for the final loss, which is death. In most cases, provided things go in a normal progression of youth, middle age, old age, and death. And the beauty is that as you get older, you're forced to look inwards, because the outward expression is not as strong anymore. It can't be. You can't run as fast at 60 as you could when you were 20, or maybe even at 35 as when you were 20. You can't do as much. The great athletes of today in 40 years will be close to being in wheelchairs, or in 50 or 60, I don't know when. The great kings of today, if there are such people, in 100 years won't be around. And the great kings of the past are no longer around. This is a natural process, and the more we align ourselves with natural processes, the better we'll be. So I asked my friend, is it better to be a kid and have a fully functioning body, fully, beautiful form, full of energy, no worries really, completely healthy, and identify as that? Or is it better to be older and having your body falling apart a little bit more, but realizing your deeper identity? I don't know what he said, but I would opt and say that the second is better. The other night, I was lying in bed, and I think my throat was hurting and my leg was aching, something, and those aren't pleasant by any means. And I felt a little detachment, and that felt good. I felt as though I knew myself beyond my body. I knew myself as a deeper underlying I am. And again, it came because I was in an unpleasant position. And that's the natural state of things. Things get worse. externally, because your body, your veil of your vessel of perception declines. It's inevitable. You're born, you rise, you decline and die under the normal circumstance, but death is inevitable. It's an uncomfortable topic, but it's worth talking about. It's worth exploring, and it's worth seeing who you really are underneath the vessel. And that's the beauty of old age, and that's why aging is a good thing. And if there's no other reason aging is a good thing, it's a good thing because it's a natural process. And when the body dies, the atoms that comprised it are burned and turn into dust and go into the air and recycle into something else, or they're buried and then they're eaten by various worms and things. And then they turn into something else. But we're not just these physical bodies anyway, are we? We are the life that's living it. And if there's any beauty of old age, it's that it shows us that we really are life and not what we see on the surface. If you like this video, please subscribe and share it with others who'd like it too.